Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's the Branded Dude, and today I have another exciting branded replay to show you. We are going up against the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh right now, Ryzeal. We are playing branded 60 cards, but we are playing the grass variant. So there is the Telements and the Shadow monsters. Yes guys, I understand that I did mention that but maybe playing grass is not the best version to play branded in this format, but I haven't seen a lot of shifters, so sometimes I just switch between the different deck lists. So in this video I'm showing you the grass variant, so any of you guys who are looking to play branded with the grass, this is an exciting video for you guys to see. Yes, we do resolve grass in this, so you are going to see how it came in clutch, but I am excited to show you guys this replay. So enough talk, let's hop right into the video. So my opponent here won the rock paper scissors and he chose to go first. In our opening hand, we open Golden Sword Soul, Eclipse, Mag, Lost, and Shiren. My opponent opens X, Sword, Nib, Ice Ryzeal, and another Nib. As we all know, Ryzeal it's a one combo deck, so this man, with no interruptions from me, he is going to pop off and set up a full board that I need to play through. Luckily for us, we do have Eclipse and Magnum, so these two will come in clutch, and I'll show you how exactly. So, my opponent normal summons Ice Ryzeal, triggers its effect to summon Sword. Sword on summon will activate its effect to search X Ryzeal. Now he summons X Ryzeal by sending Detonator to grave. So this is weird. One, I don't know why he sent Detonator. Isn't the best play usually just to send Aggregator instead? But anyways, I'm not gonna say anything. He sent Detonator, so cool. On summon X effect will activate to search another Ryzeal. So here he searches for Node. It's crazy how this Ryzeal deck just searches for each other. Insane. So now my opponent does exceeds into duel drive and he attempts to use its effect to attach. Here we do chain the Magnum Hut, targeting the Detonator engrave and banishing it. On summon, Magnum Hut will be able to get the search in the end phase, so lucky for us we do get a chance to add a dragon to our grave, hopefully maybe to fix our hand or just give us some more cards to play. Opponent now goes with duel drive and he detaches a 2 to search for Ryzeal Cross, an insane field spell. Honestly, it's crazy. And he searches for plug-in as well. Cool. Anyways, my opponent activates Cross. Now here, if I was playing Nib, my opponent's board was going to get cooked because he has no materials on the Xyz to negate with the field spell. But anyways, yeah, he got lucky. He overlays and goes into Detonator. Detonator's effect will attach I think he attaches the Ice Ryzeal. Yeah, attaches the Ice Ryzeal. Now he special summons Node by sending the duel drive to grave. Node targets the sword in graveyard and reborns. And here he overlays into Baguska. So yeah, Baguska guys, as a branded player, Baguska is a troublesome card to deal with. Our main outs to this would be Eclipse, Droplet, and Super Poly. Luckily for us, we did draw the Eclipse, so we are chilling. But Baguska is a troublesome card for branded. But yeah, Baguska on the field, it does negate Detonator as well, so the Detonator won't be able to pop anything, but he still has the field spell to negate a monster effect, and as you can see, he does have Nib in hand, plus also he did search for plugin, so plugin is something that could possibly help be an interruption during our opponent's turn. Cool, my opponent passes turn. In the end phase, we do search for Bestial Rebellion or Magnum Hut's effect. We draw off a turn, we draw into a lure, so at least we have a way to draw cards and hopefully draw into something good. We enter main phase and I activate Eclipse, flipping his monsters face down. Now here, obviously my opponent had Ash. This is the point where he must use the Ash Blossom, but luckily my opponent did not have it, so that's not going to happen. My opponent does chain the Detonator to the Eclipse, and Detonator must detach a card for cost, but Baguska is on the field, so it will not resolve. Cool, all the monsters are flipped face down and we can continue. So now we don't need to worry about the field spell because field spell must detach from a Ryzeal Xyz monster, but since it's face down, the field spell cannot use its effect. So anyways, we have no interruptions to worry about. We do know he has the plugin, but assuming in his hand, I don't know. I assumed here, since he did not use Ash on Book of Eclipse, I'm assuming maybe he did not have any hand traps. So anyways, we're just going to pop off. So we go Rebellion, search into Serenia. We use Serenia effect targeting the X Ryzeal in his graveyard to summon itself, and here my opponent it does activate plugin and reborns the X Ryzeal, so Serenia doesn't get to summon itself. On summon, X Ryzer will get a search, so that is some follow up for my opponent during the in his next turn if he gets there, which he will. No, actually no, he doesn't. We do clap his cheeks here. Anyways, we tribute Magnemite and summon Rebellion. Rebellion will. I was attempting to place Branded Regain because we do have Lost in hand, but then for some reason in this variant I forgot to put Regain, so Rebellion does not have a target. So, anyways, we go Allure. If I had regained, activate Allure, banish a dark, I would potentially add 3 cards to hand. So that was a bit sad, but it's fine. We do go Allure and we draw into Cartesia and Merly. Chiron and Merly, guys, we're fusion summoning, bro. So we do banish Serenia because Serenia cannot summon itself, and I think Serenia we do not need it. It's best option to keep the T elements, obviously. So we activate Lost first because I am going to fusion summon. So we go Chiron effect, and here we are going to send Merly, which will trigger its effect on res, but we do Mo, Brandon in red, Quem, and Fusion deployment. Merlin Quem is good because now, as you know, I am main decking Masquerade, but there's also Despian Coridas, so I can either use Merly effect to use Cartesia to go into Grand Gugno, or I can go to a Despian monster. But I think I'd rather go into a Despian monster just to add more pressure onto my opponent, specifically Masquerade here. So we go Merly effect on res, we shuffle back Quem and Merly to go into Masquerade. On summon, Brandon Lost will get us a search, and we search for Albion. We search for Albion because we're going to dump Albaz so that Cartesia can special summon herself. Cool, we go Albion effect, sorry, and we search, we dump Albaz, jeez, and we draw into Mercuria. This is a good draw in hindsight because you will see exactly why, because my opponent does have Nib. Here we are on 3 summons at the moment, and we're now going to summon our 4th one, which is Cartesia. Cool, we got Cartesia effect, and here we send Chiron. Guys, these Telemon monsters are coming in clutch. So we fusion summon into Grand Gugno, Chainlink 1, and Chiron Chainlink 2. Now, in hindsight, as a branded player, it's rather best that any effect that allows you to fusion summon, it's best you keep it as Chainlink 1. Because remember, Lost, if a Chainlink 1 is an effective fusion on the summon of the fusion, Lost prevents your opponent from activating anything. So here, it was rather best to go Chainlink 1 Chiron and Chainlink 2 Grand Gugno, because then on resolution, opponents still cannot respond with whatever. But it's fine, no problem here. So that resolves, and we shuffle back Albaz and Chiron to go into Rebellion because we are going to go into Mirror Jade. Now here's the thing, we don't have Albaz in the grave, on field, in hand, or even banished. So how exactly do I go into Mirror Jade? Don't worry, I'll show you. So Chiron resolves and goes into Rebellion, and Grand Gugno dumps Albion the Shrouded. Now guys, remember, Albion the Shrouded, it becomes Fallen of Albaz while in the graveyard. So yeah, don't worry, we're still going to Mirror Jade. So Rebellion on a new chain will activate. Now here's the thing, if my opponent had Imperm or Veiler here, he could activate here and chain it to Rebellion because Chainlink 1 was not an effective fusion summon. Sorry. So that is why in hindsight it was best for me to go Chainlink 1, Chiron, Chainlink 2, Grand Gugno, because this position left me vulnerable to an Imperm or a Veiler, but luckily my opponents had neither, so we were Gucci. But just as a branded player, do note, always keep your effects that allow you to fusion summon as Chainlink 1. Anyways, so that resolves, and we shuffle back the Albion to Shrouded and Rebellion to go into Mirror Jade, and on summon I do go Mirror Jade effect, sending Albion and banishing his detonator. So now both detonators are completely gone. He has no way to recycle them. So we enter battle phase. My opponent at the end of main phase does attempt to activate Nib, but we have Mercuria, which comes in clutch, which was honestly, yeah, it was a good draw. It was really a good draw, but my opponent does take 600 damage by Masquerade. We enter battle phase, we clear up his board, getting rid of both monsters, and we attack him for 5/5, which puts him at 1900 life points, sorry. So he is in a bit of pressure because of Masquerade. Cool, he's only left with the field spell. We attempt to go to end phase now. In end phase, we go Albion effect, and we set Branded Retribution. The reason why we set Branded Retribution is branded in red and branded banishment. We do not have any names for it to target and perform a fusion, but putting branded retribution does put my opponent under a tight spot because Masquerade is here. Masquerade, I think, it only gives him 3 effects he can activate, so being able to negate a special summon does put him under a lot of pressure. So we set retribution, Cartesia will add itself to hand, and we pass turn. Opponent draws into Imperm. He attempts to activate Imperm, but he forgot that he has Cross, so I just tell him that he can't activate Imperm. So basically, he's cooked. He has no way to play through the board. He won't be able to do much before he even overlays and XC summons. He's gonna be like locked basically by Masquerade. So, anyways, he scoops, and we go to game number two. Game number two, guys. Ryzeal players go first. So here, the opponent draws X, Sword, X, Talents, and Thrust. These two cards ain't gonna help him. Sure, if I had a Bestial, this would be live, but we did not draw into a Bestial. So, in our hand, we drew Talents, Lightning Storm, Deployment, Owlbears, and Eclipse. Eclipse, yep, it's a good card. Also, one thing I'd like to note is Lightning Storm, as well as Evenly. Any back row removal or board breakers, such as Evenly, works so well against Ryzeal, because Ryzeal they do not summon any negates unless they're playing the Fiendsmith version, but Lightning Storms, back row removals, board breakers like Evenly work really well against Ryzeal. So you don't need to worry about playing so many hand traps, so many this and that. If you want to play board breakers, just go for Lightning Storms, Evenlies, Eclipse even. Those cards will come in clutch. Eclipse is vulnerable by getting negated by Ash, but Lightning Storm and Evenly, you can't go wrong with those. So my opponent special summons X by sending Detonator again. This time we do not have a Bestial, so he's not going to lose that. He adds Node to hand. He special summons Swords. Swords effect will get him a search. Here he searches for Ice. Here my opponent exes into Dual Drive. Dual Drive effect will attach to Detonator, which resolves. Then he uses a Dual Drive to search for the field spell and for plugin. Cool. Now here my opponent activates the cross, Ryzeal cross, so he has a negate for Nub, if I ever played Nub. My opponent normally summons Ice. Ice effect will summon another sword from deck. He overlays into Dugaris, and then Dugaris effect will draw 2. He draws into Plasma Hole and D-Barrier. That is an insane draw. Absolutely insane. So yeah, D-Barrier, yeah, it's gonna lock me out of fusions in my turn, and you must probably think, oh, I'm gonna lose this, but yeah, you're right, I am gonna lose this, guys. Wait, do I lose this? Nah, I don't think I do, guys. Watch, you're gonna be surprised. So anyways, he special summons Node by sending this XCs to grave, and Node will reborn the sword. Cool, he overlays into Detonator. Detonator will attach to Garrus. My opponent then uses the field spell to shuffle 2 Ryzeals and draw 1. Yeah, he draws into Veiler, so that is a good draw, another interruption. So opponent sets the D barrier, and he will set the plugin, and he passes turn. So we have Detonator, which can pop 3 cards, the field spell that negates a monster. We have D barrier, which completely shuts off our turn, and plugin. He does have Plasma Hole in grave, which allows him to perform an XC summon. So yeah, my opponent has quite a board, and he does have a hand trap in hands, which obviously we don't know, but this is quite a board. So we draw into Shadow Beast. It's not going to do much if only either we're able to summon Cartesia of Deployment, and Cartesia can send itself and Shadow Beast to grave. Sure, we get a draw. We do have talents though, so hopefully this does come in clutch, but we'll see how it goes in this round. We go straight to main phase, and we start with Lightning Storm, Calling, back row. We're not going to attempt to destroy monsters because remember, Detonator, it can detach a material and protect its XYZ monsters being destroyed by card effects. So there's no point doing that. So instead we're going to go straight for the back row. So here my opponent chains the D barrier, calling fusions, and he chains plugin just to get a body onto field, and he attaches a material to Duo Drive. Cool, that is good. We go fusion deployment to summon out Cartesia. Now in hindsight, it was best that I don't summon Cartesia. I should have kept the deployments in hand and just set Eclipse and set Owlbears. That's it. That was most probably the best move for me to do because, yeah, sure, like he has Detonator. If I activate Cartesia, he can just pop the Cartesian hand. So this was sort of a misplay for me. It was best to keep the fusion deployments in hand, but yeah, it is what it is. So here my opponent, we pass turn. My opponent cannot draw a card because of the Garrus effect, where he used the effect to draw, so he's not allowed to draw a card here. So he goes to main phase, and main phase he used Duo Drive to get a search. He searches for Ice, and he searches for X Ryzeals. Cool. My opponent then special summons X by sending Aggregator, and then chaining 1 X, chaining 2 Aggregator, which will targets our Cartesia, so that puts that off. We do not bother to chain this because he can use detonator to target this and destroy. So yeah, I kind of put myself in a bad spot here. I should have kept the fusion deployment in hand, but we are Gucci. Opponent searches for Sword of X. My opponent overlays into the Light Dragon at Ignister, which will use its effect and destroy my Cartesia because it will detach a material and destroy face-up monsters I control. My opponent discards the talent in order to XC summon a full armored Utopic Grey Lancer. In case you guys don't know, you can XC summon this card by discarding one spell or trap and just using a rank 4 low XC monsters to use it as material and overlay into this one. So that's why the talent was discarded. Cool. Luckily, I did not activate Cartesia because now talents and thrust, yo, damn, would have broken my board completely and he would have had game. Anyways, my opponent normal summons no ice and then special summon sword. Sword effect will get a search, but he has no target, so that's all the names on the field or engrave in hand. So he just overlays into another detonator. Detonator effect will attach to aggregator. Cool. Opponent enters battle phase, he destroys Albaz, cool, and then since the monster, I think it says, yeah, when this attacking card destroys a monster by battle, you can detach a material and it can make a second attack in a row. So he uses that effect. On its second attack declaration, though, we do activate flips, and my opponent does not have Ash. So just imagine he did flip these monsters face down. He didn't flip them down because obviously they're going to come back up. So no need to go through all that trouble. Opponent sets a thrust, which yeah, I thought maybe it was an imperm or something. Anyways, we go to end phase, and my opponent does draw 4 cards. So he draws into imperm, nib, bonfire, and another nib. So he has Veiler, and he has nib, and he has detonator. Yeah, yeah. So this is a bit rough, eh? Judging by the fact that I only had talents and beast in hand. Guys, 2 cards in hand. How am I gonna play through this board and win? Ha! Let me show you the power of Brandon. So we draw for turn and we draw into Albion. So Albion, yeah, it's not going to do a lot, but hopefully we can draw something. So we got Albion effect here. I sent Brandon opening. Now here's the thing. I won't lie, guys, I was not looking for a specific card, no specific play. I was like, detonators on grave. Let me send opening so I'm able to protect a fusion. So we just send that and we hope for a good draw and we draw into Quem. This is a good draw because now what I can do is normal summon Quem. Quem can dump Retribution and we can add Branded Opening to our hand. So that was the plan there. So this was a good draw for us. We normal summon Quem. My opponent does trigger Detonator. He doesn't chain the Veiler. I guess he doesn't chain the Veiler because he wants to save the Veiler for a fusion monster like Albion or Lubellion when I attempt to fusion summon. So I guess that's he's not wrong there. But he does pop the Quem. Quem dumps Retribution. We go Retribution effect to add Opening. Opening can discard the Shadow and we can get special summon of Opening and a draw of Beast. But here on Chainlink 1, Opening, my opponent chains Detonator and he detaches Aggregator. So on the resolution, if I special summon a Luba, Aggregator is just going to negate a Luba. So we do not special summon. Instead, we discard the Shadow Beast and just add a Luba to hand. On res, Beast will get us a draw and we draw into Lost. Lost, yeah, Lost is not really going to do much here because Detonator is on the field, so maybe we should have joined another card, but it is what it is. So now Talents is live and we decide to activate it. I'm not going to look at my opponent's hand or take control of a monster. I need cards to play. So we go for the draw 2 and we draw into Rebellion and hallelujah, people of Earth, we draw into the grass looks greener. People, you don't understand how happy I was to draw into this card. Finally, we get to activate this and I get to show you how it helps. So anyways, we go Rebellion effect first. I kind of want to force out more detonator activations here. So we search for Magnum Heart. The Magnum Heart effect will banish his aggregator to summon itself. Cool. Magnet effect chain link 1 and my opponent does chain detonator so that Rebellion doesn't get a chance to summon itself. Cool. Now here we go grass. We do not activate Lost because if I activate Lost and then follow up with grass, my opponent can just pop the Lost. So we're going to keep Lost in hand. Grass will resolve and you saw there guys, we just hit a Telement monster. Boom. So here I believe I milled about 23 cards. Yeah, I milled about 23 cards here. We do fill up our graveyard quite a bit. We left with 21 cards in deck. I won't lie, that was kind of scary. So anyways, we go Chainlink 1 Chiron, Chainlink 2 Serenia. Here's the thing, I did mill Tragedy, but we don't use Tragedy because Branded Fusion is in the graveyard, and Retribution, we already used Retribution's effect, sorry. So it is banished. So Tragedy is our only way to get Branded Fusion. So I do not activate Tragedy. Just chaining one Chiron, chaining to Sarnia. Sarnia dumps the last copy of Opening, so we have enough protections in case Detonator decides to pop. And we fusion Chiron and Albaz away to go into Lubellion. We go Lubellion effect, discarding the Aluba, so that in case our fusion monster gets destroyed, Aluba can summon itself and negate a monster on the field. Just for a body to protect us. But here, unfortunately, my opponent does have the Veiler, so Lubellion does get negated. Now we go Tragedy effect to set back the Branded Fusion, and we activate Branded Fusion, and my opponent decides to pop my Lubellion. Here, Lubellion can be protected with Opening, but he does have another Detonator which can pop two more cards. I decide, let Lubellion get destroyed. I'd rather save and protect my other fusions from destruction. So we send Albaz and Cartesia to go into Albion. On summon Albion effect, my opponent chains Detonator, but this time we do protect with Opening. So we banish Albaz and Lubellion. That's a bit rough. Banishing Lubellion is a bit rough, but it is what it is. And we go into Merger. Here we only on, I think, the third summon. No, one, two, three, four. On the fourth summon. So yeah, I think we are, because we did summon normal summon Quem, going to Quem, Lubellion, Albion, Mirajade, and now we summon Bistro Lubellion. Now here's the thing: my opponent can activate Nib, but I think the reason why he doesn't activate Nib is because Mirajade will trigger its effect. He will lose all his Xyz materials, and also crosses in graveyard, so he has no way to recycle his cards. So maybe it was not worth it to him to activate Nib here. So that is why he did not use Nib this entire turn. Anyways, we enter battle phase, we destroy the Adignista and we destroy the Utopic Great Lancer. The reason why we attack those is because this card does reduce our monster's attack by 500. So basically Mirajade cannot destroy these detonators with 2500 defense. So that's why we destroy those two. It's cool. We enter main phase 2. Main phase 2 we use Mirajade's effect. We send Rinbrim because we do have an Albaz in graveyard, so that is a potential fusion summon during our opponent's turn. Opponent chains Detonator, just gets rid of Rebellion, which is totally fine. He does not get rid of Mirajade because remember, Mirajade will destroy his monsters in the end phase and he does not want that. He has no way to recycle his Detonators or his Ryzeals because Ryzeal Cross is the only recycler he has. So yeah, he's in a bit of a tight spot. So we banish the one Detonator. Cool. We activate Lost because that won't get destroyed because he has no materials on Detonator to use to pop. Cool, so we feel free to activate Lost. We proceed to end phase. End phase, we activate Cartesia, we activate High Spirit to add to hand. Always, always, always add these cards to your hand if you can. Do not think, oh, you added next turn. Nope, trust me, just put these cards in your hand if you can. We got Albion effect, and here we set Branded in red because we do have Ad Libitum in the graveyard. Right here. So we can go into Chimera and we can reborn the Mirajade for another banish. Cool. We pass turn and hope for the best. Here my opponent now goes into Typhon. Now the reason why I think he goes into Typhon is maybe he does not have many names, for Ryzeal names to add to hand and reborn. He has, I don't know how many duo drives they play. Most probably they play 2 duo drives, but both detonators are gone. The Ryzeal cross field spell cannot recycle any of them, so he is sort of in a rough position in terms of the Ryzeal monsters. So maybe just that's the reason why he goes to Typhon. Now here, luckily for us, we do have Rinbrim in graveyard to summon Albaz and fuse away the Typhon. So instead we just don't do anything. Also, I do not activate anything on its summon because as you saw my opponent, he is playing what's this called, Talents. So I didn't want to play into Talent. So I let that summon successfully. We do not do anything. Uses this effect and bounces the Mirajade. Now here we do activate a Luba. The reason why is just put a monster on the field because I was worried he could go full game. But yeah, that did leave me open into a Talents. But I mean, luckily he did not have it. But he does have Thrust, which he activates later. So first he enters battle phase, destroys the Luba. Cool. He goes Thrust and he searches for a D barrier. Such a naughty move, dirty boy. Anyway, so he searches for D barrier, so that's something we need to worry about next turn. The fact that this guy went first and we managed to still survive. But anyways, moving on. So he sets 2 cards. One of them happens to be an Imperm and a Thrust. He activates Bonfire just for a search and he searches for Ice Ryzeal. So now guys, I don't know if summoning Typhon was a good idea, but again, I don't know what this guy has in in his extra deck. So we're just gonna go with the doubt that he most probably did not have a way to go into other rank 4 bodies. So Typhon was his best move. So anyways, it is what it is. So we'll just go with that. Also, Typhon does so it will negate Chimera, so maybe that's why he went into Typhon, just so that Chimera will not pop his cards or anything. And also it shuts off Mirror Jade as well. So totally understandable. But anyways, he goes to end phase. Now end phase, this is where we pop off. End phase, we go Renbrim effect, where we summon Albaz, and then Albaz will use this effect to fusion summon away his Typhon. Now remember guys, our Lubellion is banished. If I could fusion away Typhon into Lubellion, I would, but we only play one and it's banished, so I just go straight into Mirror Jade. Now, here we're not done yet, guys. Remember, he said debarry. We need to get rid of that. So, on summon, we just go lost to get Albion just for material, and then we go branded in red, targeting Adlib. Adlib, we banish Adlib, Merjade, and Albion, going to Chimera. Chimera is going to pop one and draw two, but chaining one Chimera, channeling to Adler, reborn the Merjade, boom, and we draw two cards and we pop his D-bag. Here my opponent scoops because yeah, no monsters on field, open field, we have like 6-3 damage here, just summon Cartesia, that is game. So guys, as you can see here, we managed to pull through and win this match. Grass came in clutch, honestly, with all those interruptions, detonator, just popping everything. Grass was such a good card, and honestly, it came in clutch. Also, my opponent, he had Nib, but my word, I don't know if this guy was even playing Ash because we did not see that whatsoever. But I don't know if I said it right, but Ash Blossom, yeah, we did not see that at all. So yeah, guys, that was crazy. This was a crazy duel. Honestly, as you saw in game two, I was like, bro, I just drew into Albion and I'm hoping for the best here, but Talons was live. We drew into Grass. Listen, guys, Grass came in clutch. It was so good. It was absolutely amazing to resolve Grass here. But guys, yeah, that is the game. That is the replay. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Honestly, this was such an exciting game, and I hope you guys also enjoyed watching it and found it exciting as well. So, guys, if you did enjoy the video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Do let me know anything in the comments below, what you would like to say, anything you would want to say, and or anything, any suggestions for a video, and I will take a look at it. But I hope you really enjoyed this video because I enjoyed showing it to you, and it was really exciting for me to even show you this as well. You guys, thank you for all the support. Honestly, it motivates me to keep uploading videos, and honestly, I do enjoy giving you good branded content. As usual, I will show you a quick deck profile towards the end of the video, but thank you for all the support, guys. Cheers. See you in the next one.